Alrighty guys, what is up? Welcome back to Stardew Valley with LD7, and today we're going to be covering some new things. So, first things first, today it is raining, and raining is like the best thing ever when you don't have sprinklers, because it waters all of your crops, and it costs you no energy. It's pretty awesome. So, we can buy a 24 slot backpack, which is actually kind of what I want to do. So with the items we put in the storage box from last time, we got like 500 gold. I forget how much the first backpack is, but I want to walk over to the shop and kind of check that out. It is still pretty early, however, so they're probably not open yet. I think they open at like 8. Let's just see. Oh, it's closed today. Cool. So we can't go to the shop. That's fine too. Fun stuff. But we can check the message board. If you see this little note icon, you will find a help wanted. I will love you forever if you catch me a smallmouth bass. So make 150 coin and Haley will be pleased. Fun stuff. So now we gotta go catch a bass. I didn't notice how long that said. So we've got 2 days to find and catch this bass. So let's go do that. You want to do those quests, typically speaking, because you're going to end up making more coins for the amount of energy you spend doing those than you would otherwise. And then in addition, it does help build the relative relationship levels with the various characters throughout the map, which is a good thing as well if you're trying to, 100% the game or get achievements and all that kind of stuff. So if I remember right, you catch bass out in the river, is kind of how I remember it. If it's not here, it's probably up in the mountains. But we're going to go ahead and do some fishing today. It's actually one of my favorite things in this game, to tell you the truth. And for the amount of energy you actually spend, this is like the best way to make money. Because fish tend to sell for like hundreds of coins when you sell them, right? And it only costs 2 energy to throw out your line to catch the fish. So this is a silver one. It'll sell for even more, which is great. Anyway, we're going to do some fishing. It is a little bit tricky sometimes if you're new. Each type of fish has a different way that it behaves inside of the bar. So once you've caught all of the fish, you'll kind of learn the patterns as far as like how to hold your mouse buttons and for how long and that kind of stuff, which is cool, because it makes it easy to catch really high level fish. Basically, you get higher level fish the longer you keep the fish inside of your green bar continuously. So if you keep them the entire time, you'll get really good ones. So we've got 2 silver ones, and that's basically because I'm good at fishing. So we keep it inside of the bar for the most part. The other reason why you kind of want to do various stuff, you do have skills in this game. So there's farming, mining, foraging, fishing, combat. Farming you're going to get over time just by, planting and harvesting crops. So this one is good to level up. Once you reach these bigger bars or level 5, you get to pick what type of specialty you want to have, and stuff like that, and it unlocks more content within the game. We'll talk about that once we unlock level 5 in one of them. We got foraging level 1 the other day, so we get +1 axe efficiency, so it means it costs 1 less energy to use our axe. I want to level up our fishing though. Basically, that will allow us to catch better fish and unlock better fishing rods and do a bunch of other cool stuff. So the way you level up your skills is basically you perform the action the skill is in reference to. So for fishing, you just go out and fish, and the more fish you catch, the more experience you'll get in the fishing skill, and eventually you'll level up. Foraging, you gather plants off the ground or chop down trees and stuff like that. Farming, plant, harvest crops. Combat, once we unlock the mine, you get combat skill points by killing monsters. We don't have a weapon yet, so we can't really level that one. Mining, we can't really do quite yet. Well, we can by mining the small rocks on our farm, I suppose, but really the best way to do mining is to actually, go to the mine. It's just not unlocked for us yet, so I've decided that fishing is the best way for us to spend this time, so we can generate a little bit more gold and be able to go to the general store in the next day in game so we can buy the better backpack. So this is going to be different than the chubs we've been catching, and I know that damn. Alright, well, we didn't catch it. But I know that that would have been different from the chubs that we've got in our inventory, because the way it behaved inside of the bar is different. I think you can shake trees as well. We'll maybe take a look at that after we catch whatever type of fish this is. Ooh, this is the other thing about fishing. You have these little chests that show up sometimes. So, basically the way you get them is you gotta hold your bar over it until it opens, and then you have to catch the fish as well. So, if the fish isn't hanging out by the chest, what you do is you get it up into the really strong green area, and then go for the chest. So this one is not that difficult to catch, really. It's just taking longer because we were trying to do that. As you can see, since we weren't inside of the fish wasn't in our green bar for the entire time, or a large portion of the time, we only got a normal one instead of a silver. But inside the chest we got some stone and some coal. Not bad, since we can't get coal yet, since the mine isn't open. But sometimes you get better stuff out of those chests, so it is worth opening them if you can manage it. Sometimes, though, just because you have to not only unlock the chest but catch the fish, it's just better to catch the fish. You'll be able to sell whatever the fish is worth, or the fish will be worth more than whatever you're going to get out of the chest. Sometimes. Not always. Sometimes you'll get, like, geodes or gems or something like that out of those chests, so that's really good. Like, if you get lucky and you get good loot out of the chest, like, it totally pays for the extra time it takes to, you know, unlock it before you catch your fish. But anyway, here we go. Got another one. This one should be pretty good. There we go. We got a shad. Awesome. Now, it seems like we're not really catching any bass. I feel like we probably would have found one by now if we were going to. So I am going to go up to the mountains and see if maybe the bass lives up there, which is a definite possibility. Like I have said a couple times, I have not played this game for a minute, so I don't remember everything, unfortunately. I do remember a fair amount, so that's why I wanted to start this series, just to kind of share some of that knowledge with you. But if we go over here, sell all of this crap. I'm going to keep the coal, I think, and the stone. And we're going to change this chest color. So if you use this little color bar, that changes the color of the chest. That can be really helpful when you're organizing. But let's see if we can make it over to the mountains and catch a smallmouth bass, because I really would like to do it on the first day, if at all possible, just so we don't have to worry about spending energy on fishing for the next, 2-3 days. Sometimes that gets a little bit boring, tedious, monotonous, whatever word you want to use. All the same, I like to try to do the delivery missions on the first day, if at all possible, just because if you run out of time, you will lose the mission, and on some of them it pisses the people off. So like, if you accept a delivery mission, you want to complete it, and if you don't think you can complete it, don't accept it, because it's not good. Anyway, we're back up in the mountains doing some more fishing. We're gonna see if we can catch this bass. We got some more algae. You can save this. It's actually not the worst thing in the world. It sells for a decent amount. The rest of the general trash you get while fishing isn't worth keeping, so I would just throw it away, especially starting off. You'll have the same just single inventory bar, so not a lot of storage space, so you're gonna run out of room if you're fishing for a while and you're keeping all your trash. You're gonna run out of room quickly, I guess. So there we go. Got this one super easy. It just chilled at the bottom. So this was a carp. We're gonna have to see. I think that the smallmouth bass do live up in the mountains though. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna come back once we catch the bass, and yeah. So see you in a couple minutes. Alrighty guys, so we got another fish on the line, and it's a largemouth bass. So not the right kind of bass, but a bass nonetheless. But that makes me feel a little bit more confident that they actually have the smallmouth variant up in the mountains as well. So we're just going to go ahead and catch fish. The other thing I should mention while we're talking about fishing, depending on the time of day, location, and the weather, you may catch different fish. So we may not be catching the bass just because it's raining and it's only a fish you can catch when it's sunny out. It also might not be late enough in the day or early enough in the day or something like that as well. So bear that in mind. If you're looking for a specific fish and you can't seem to catch it, it might just be the wrong time of day. What I would suggest if you are trying to like get the fishing achievement or try to do the community center fishing is go to the Stardew Valley wiki and look up whatever type of fish you're trying to find. It will tell you what seasons, what time of day, what location, what weather, all that kind of stuff, and what kind of fishing rod as well, because there are different levels you're going to need in order to catch the fish you're looking for. If you are not trying to fish when all the those things like location and stuff like that are correct, you're never going to find the fish. Like, it will not spawn. Doesn't matter how many times you fish, how many you catch, none of that will matter, because the conditions have to be correct when you're fishing, apparently. That's the way Stardew Valley does it. I think it's kind of cool, because it means you can't 100% all of fishing in like 1 day or 2 days or whatever, you know what I mean? You actually have to wait through all the seasons and like go out in some rainy days and in the morning on some days and at night on some days and stuff like that. So it's actually pretty cool. Ooh, cool. We got a new record, long largemouth bass. That'll probably sell for a lot. You can kind of tell roughly how much stuff is worth based off of how much energy and health it provides. If it's food-based items or like fish, forage, whatever, they all have food and or energy and health values. So if you look at that, it'll give you a decent idea of how much stuff's going to be worth. But my guess is that silver largemouth bass is going to be worth like a couple hundred coins at least. We got a chub. So now we're full up. I'm just going to throw one out because it seems like we probably cycled through all the different types of fish that we can catch. But so hopefully, you know, this will just stack and we don't catch a silver chub. That's the only one we don't have space for. And if we do, basically we'll have to decide if we want the fish or the green algae, is the way I see it. And it'll probably end up being the fish because it'll sell for more. But that's fine. So as you can see, instead of catching carp, like carp used to be the fish that chilled at the bottom, now it seems to be chubs. It's because it's now considered the evening. Ooh, we got a gold one? Hells yeah. I'll take a gold carp. Sure. Why not? Anyway, I say that and then we catch a carp, so maybe it isn't, but it is 6 p.m., so I think that's when the evening starts, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm remembering that right. Cool, we got a chest. We won't be able to hold anything out of it, so we'll kind of just scout the loot and see if it's good. We got a bullhead, and we got some coal. Do we get rid of the carp? Probably the carp for the bullhead, I guess. So we'll take the bullhead. I don't really care about this coal, in all honesty, because it's not going to do much for us at this point. But we are full up on inventory space. We're 103 out of 270. We still have a fair amount of energy left, but we're going to head back. The other thing to keep in mind, this game clock, right? If you let that go into 10, 11 p.m. at night, I want to say it's maybe 11 p.m., it's going to say you're starting to get tired. That is a warning to get back to your house and go to sleep, because if you don't, you will pass out. And it's not good when you pass out. You lose stuff, or you have the potential to lose stuff, and things like that. I think you actually pass out at like 1:32 a.m., something like that. I can't remember the exact time. Whoops. There we go. Put all of these fishies back in their home to be sold. And you know what? Since we're on the farm, and it does have these like lakes and rivers and stuff running through it, supposedly the benefit of this farm is you can catch, fish and stuff like that. On the regular farm, in my experience, when you try to fish in the water that's on it, like, you just get trash, so like newspaper and stuff like that. But I'm wondering if this farm type actually has like a type of fish you can catch on your farm, which would be really cool if it does. It probably does, I don't know. Well, apparently it does, because we're catching a fish right now. Awesome. Cool. Caught him. Got a shad, 37 inches, new record, awesome. But yeah, so this is why I picked this farm type, is I was hoping I would be able to catch, fish on my farm. It's helpful because you don't have to spend time walking down to the location, and you can just start fishing right away, and you can run your energy really low because you're close by to your bed, so you don't have to worry about passing out or something. Basically what happens, if your energy ever hits 0, you pass out and lose items. If the time gets too late, you also pass out and lose items. So those are the two things you kind of got to look out for. It is 8:50. I just want to show you because I realized that in the few episodes we've recorded this for, we haven't actually shown you how to get to the next day, which is a pretty basic mechanic. The way you do it, you go into your house, come up, and you come over. This is your bed. All you got to do is walk into your bed. You'll get a little go to sleep for the night. You hit yes, and that'll take you to the next day in the game progression. So it's Wednesday, day 3. It'll be Thursday, day 4 if we hit yes on this. In addition, it'll reset the weather. It'll reset the game clock to 6 a.m., I believe, and it will refill your energy, which is the most important thing. So we're going to say yes, go to sleep. Overnight, since we had a bunch of stuff in the fishing box, that will sell, but we got level 1 fishing plus 1 rod proficiency. We got level 2. We can now make bait. So cool. So from our fishing endeavors, we got 865 gold. Here's the breakdown of what everything sold for. So that largemouth bass sold for 120 or 150, looks like. But we just made 911 gold pieces just from a single day of fishing. And that is why this farm type is so overpowered. If you can just chill and fish inside of your farm, you can make a ton of money. Anyway, this is the 4th day. So tomorrow we'll be able to harvest our parsnip plants that we've got here. The other crops, the cauliflower takes almost the entire season. So that's the one you really got to be diligent on getting planted right away. Otherwise you won't be able to get that crop for the season. Because even if you have the plant, like the crop in the ground and everything, once this changes to summer, all of this will die. Even though it's planted, doesn't matter, it will all die. You won't be able to get the produce out of it, which basically means you wasted all your time, hoeing, watering, doing all that kind of stuff. So I'm just walking into town at 7 a.m. I just want to see, I kind of want to look in the general store and see if we can buy the backpack or not. That's really what I want. So, closed on Wednesdays, it's locked, opens at 9. So we need to find this bass, is what we need to do. And I'm almost certain it's up in the mountains, so I guess what we can do, we're waiting for the store to open anyway, is go back up to the mountain fishing spot and do some more fishing and see if we catch a smallmouth bass so we can deliver it to Haley and get the rep and the money. But anyway, guys, we've basically covered fishing today in general detail, as well as kind of like where to find information about how to find specific fish, things like that. We talked about sleeping, the energy bar, the treasure chest, the little mini game you got to play, and all that kind of stuff. So I hope that was helpful for you. If you're new to the game and trying to get started with fishing, I hope that has been helpful for you, information-wise, just because I know it's not necessarily straightforward. It's not like there's a guide or anything built into the game at this point that explains, oh yeah, you just gotta, go up to the mountains at this time of day and all that kind of stuff, and you'll catch this type of fish. So hopefully this has at least shown you kind of what you can do if you're trying to figure it out without going to the wiki page. Just go try out different locations at different times of day and stuff like that, and eventually you'll find what you're looking for. Eventually, once we get the community center unlocked, you can kind of tell where stuff is based off of the quests. But anyway, guys, that's all we got time for today. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always. And until next time, this has been LD7, and we will see ya.